Hey Geeks, Mod Tim here with tonight's episode of Star Trek Season 2, Episode 10. This is a huge milestone for us as well. This is the 40th episode overall, which is actually the halfway point for Star Trek. So I know we're having issues with the camera being sideways or forward, which I'm sorry, but thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the likes. A lot of you guys have direct messaged me to talk to me about different episodes of Star Trek and my thoughts and feelings about stuff. It means a lot. I didn't think that anybody would actually really care. I only expected to do like 5 of these and then that's it. So this is great. This is awesome. I really appreciate everything you guys have said. That being said, episode 10 is Mirror Mirror. Huge episode in Star Trek. And, like, what a coincidence that it's the middle of the series. I actually didn't realize that this was the only Mirror Mirror episode in the original series. Like, Mirror Mirror was such a groundbreaking, well-done episode that it felt like there was more. Like, I could have sworn you saw the bearded Spock again. But no, that's it. Just this one episode. And it changed Star Trek forever. Like we go back to the Mirror Universe in Deep Space Nine, and that episode, I'm not going to spoil it, but that episode had a lot of groundbreaking stuff in it, especially for the gay community. You go back to the Mirror Universe in Enterprise for several episodes. And then Discovery, like the entire first season of Discovery, like is very, very important with the Mirror Universe. Like it's crazy how much the Mirror Universe impacted Star Trek. And I said in season 1, like there were a lot of glimpses where you could kind of see like the enemy within, where you see the good Kirk and the bad Kirk, and then you see this episode and you're like, that's how it's done. This is the final draft. And it's great. It's a really, really well done episode. Like, I kind of wish there were more of the original series episodes in the Mirror Universe. And there's a lot of stuff. Like, I don't even know where to start with this episode. When we very first see Sulu in the very first episode where No Man Has Gone Before, he's in blue. And I think I mentioned that. And then once he becomes the Sulu helmsman that we know, he goes to gold. Whereas in this episode, he's wearing red because he's like the security chief, I think, which makes him the first character to actually wear all 3 uniforms. It's seen again in other Treks, but he's the first character, which good for Sulu. This is the new, we saw the brig this time, which is a little bit different. It's a different set than the original brig, but then again, it's also the Mirror Universe, so that's kind of iffy. Let's see, this is the last episode, I mentioned the mind meld and how we've seen it 3 times, but it's never the mind meld we know. I didn't realize this again. We finally see the mind meld in this episode, the 4th one, where the Mirror Universe does it with Bones, which is also very important because Spock and Bones mind melding. And it's the side of the face, and it's the your mind is my mind, I know what you know. It's the whole speech. So we finally got to that. The mind meld that we all know and love. Like I said, this feels like the point where we have now gotten to the Star Trek that we know. And it kind of caught me off guard, but I think this is the only episode where Scotty calls Kirk Jim instead of Captain. And it's a very important scene where he says it, so it worked. It stood out. Sorry, I gotta go through all my notes. Yeah, otherwise, that's it. The last, so going back to Deep Space Nine, out of the Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise, I feel like Deep Space Nine is the winner for the most connections to the original series. A lot of characters cross over, like original characters cross over. And then everybody knows Trials and Tribulations. Like, again, people that don't know Star Trek have probably at least heard of that Deep Space Nine episode, because that episode of Deep Space Nine was groundbreaking. What people might not know or might not realize, the very ending of that episode, Sisko is talking, I think, to Dax about how he got to meet Kirk one last time. And then there's a flashback of Sisko walking on the bridge, and he gives Kirk something to sign, and Kirk kind of is like, Ensign, and he's like, Sisko, and he gives it back to him, and Sisko walks. That little clip right there at the very end is not from the Tribble episode. It's actually from this episode, Mirror Mirror, where Kirk sees Ensign Monroe after knowing her in the mirror universe, and that's why he's like, I know you, you're Ensign. But so that was kind of an interesting thing. I didn't realize that at first, but that's the one clip from the Trials and Tribulations episode that's not from the original series Tribble episode. It's from Mirror Mirror. All that being said, tomorrow's episode is The Deadly Years. But Mirror Mirror, I'm sure this has got to be in the top 10, maybe the top 5 episodes for Star Trek fans. Have you guys seen it? What did you think? Let me know, and I will see you guys tomorrow.